What up, what up, what up, New York Giant Nation? It's your boy, Matt the Giants fan, back with episode 10 of the Real Deal NFC East Roundup. We're going to get into this action this week, man. Last week's action, the Week 8 action in the NFL. First of all, I want to say thanks, Sunday. How you doing, Sunday? Good to see you up in here. Always showing love to New York Giant Nation out there. Absolute GOAT moderator right there. Sunday be holding all the New York Giant Nation down, man. So one love to you, Sunday. I appreciate that, everything you do. But I'm going to just get right into it this week, man. I'm going to jump right on here. The first game I'm going to start talking about this week is the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to the Detroit Lions, man. And I ain't even going to hold you. Last week I predicted this game thinking Detroit was going to come out, get their first W, felt like the Eagles was their weakest competition they faced all season. And all the Eagles did was go out there and absolutely trash them worse than anybody else has this season. So maybe I gave Detroit Lions far too much credit last week. And trust me, that will not happen again. No other NFC East team is going to be playing the Detroit Lions this year anyway. But yeah, that was an embarrassment for the Detroit Lions. The Eagles went over there and absolutely just put it on them, man. Not even much to say about this game, to be honest. The final score was 44-6. Jalen Hurts' passing numbers were pretty anemic, but to be quite honest, I'm not going to give the kid a hard time this week about that because the way this game played out, he didn't need to be airing the ball out. I mean, the team ran for a total of 236 yards on the ground, and that's without their best runner in Miles Sanders. So, I mean, that's already telling you how this game went for the Detroit Lions right there. I mean, the Eagles just came out, ran right over top of them. Like I said, obviously the passing game was pretty much non-existent for the Eagles this week because they didn't need to use it. The running game was working so well. Everybody was going. I mean, they brought Jordan Howard back up from the practice squad. Sounds weird to say, but yeah. Jordan Howard back up from the practice squad, just having probably the best game he's had in a couple of years. Gainwell got into the action a little bit. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts making magic happen with his legs as always. The Eagles defense showed up in this game too. Probably their best defensive performance. Not probably. They're absolutely their best defensive performance of the season. I mean, got to Jared Goff 6 times, and they just disrupted that Detroit Lions backfield the entire game, man. So I mean, not much more I can say about it, man. Eagles came in, and they dominated, which technically you're supposed to do against a team that you're better than. And they went in there and they did it. They shut me up. I mean, I thought legitimately the way the Detroit Lions had played football all this season, the way they've been losing some heartbreaking games, and this is going to be one that they were going to be able to find a way to win at home. But it's the reason why you're 0-8. You know what I mean? So they're just I don't know. I don't really honestly care about the Detroit Lions, but it'll be tough to see this franchise go 0-17, man, because they've already had an 0-16 season once. I don't think this city could take another season like that. So good luck to you, Detroit. But like I said, there's a reason why you're 0-8, man. Yeah, I definitely thought they was going to win Sunday. I thought for sure they would have got the W. I thought really like legit this was going to be the week that the Detroit Lions was going to find a way to win a football game. But clearly they weren't ready. The Eagles exploited them, took full advantage, and just beat them down. Like I said, not much more I can even say about this one. So I'm actually just going to get ready to move on to the next one, which would be the Washington football team traveling to the Denver Broncos. And in this one, man, Taylor Heineke came out 24-39, 270 yards, touchdown, and a couple of interceptions, man. The team had 112 yards on the ground. Football team had 112 yards on the ground in this one. But they just couldn't get right. This team still just can't get right, man. I don't know. It's a confusing football team because I still almost similar to us. I feel like you see the talent on their roster. I mean, they really hooked they bolstered their offense up, and I get it. They brought Curtis Samuel in, and unfortunately, that hasn't worked out due to injury. So that's probably been helping hold this team back a little bit because that would have helped take a little bit of the pressure off of Terry McLaurin, who once again just was almost non-existent in this game. J.D. McKissick, as a matter of fact, was the leading receiver in this one, 8 catches for 83 yards. So, yeah, I just thought for sure that they would find a way to this team just can't find a way to keep McLaurin involved. You know what I mean, and keep defenses off balance, man. They just can't figure out a way to be consistent with anything. They're still yet to have like a breakthrough defensive performance. That hasn't happened yet this season, and that's unfortunate. Like I said a week ago, the Washington football team defense has got to be the most overrated unit coming into this season. I mean, they still have yet to truly show up in any game. I mean, sure, Broncos only scored 17 points on them, but I mean, we're also talking about the Broncos, who have been struggling a lot the last few weeks as well. So they were looking to get back on track, and that's what they did with a W against the Washington football team here, man. Taylor Heineke is so up and down, so wishy-washy, man, with this guy. Like he shows an ability to make plays, but then he just continues to make these gut-wrenching mistakes as well, too, man. Like, and he is a backup quarterback, so that does happen. I mean, he's a backup. That happens. Backup quarterbacks are backups for a reason because they're not really truly good enough to be starters in this league, man. And a lot of people like Taylor Heineke, and I'm not like totally against this kid, man. But at the same time, he's not showing me a lot going forward as him being a future regular starter in this league. I'm just not seeing it week in and week out. You just never know what you're going to get from this guy, man. The turnovers are starting to become a bit of a problem, and the defense is just not getting it done. Like I said, I just don't understand where this vaunted pass rush is at that everybody had been talking about all season about how this Washington front seven is just going to be blowing people off the ball and doing this and doing that. I believe they only had about 3 sacks in this game. I mean, it's just not happening. And Chase Young is still sitting at only 2 sacks on the whole year. 2, maybe 3. I'm not 100% can't remember, but I feel like it's definitely no more than 3 so far through the first 8 games. I mean, it's just got to get better. So, Washington football team, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about you guys right now. Exactly, Sunday. I agree. They're just like that's very similar to us. I was just mentioning that, like, yeah, they're just like it looks decent on paper. It looks really good. Like why is this team not winning more football games? Why is this team only 2-6? It just doesn't. It don't even seem like it. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't really figure it out. Fortunately, us being New York Giant fans, got our own team to worry about right now, and our team is struggling the same exact way where it's almost mind-blowing. Not quite the same. I feel like our injuries are starting to really catch up to us to a point where now I hate to use them as an excuse, but it's the truth. The reality is we've proven that we don't have great depth. So with these injuries to like key players, key starters, it's starting to catch up to the New York Giants. So I feel like that's a little bit of our problem, a little bit more of our problem. The Washington football team is a little more of a mystery to me. I just don't, because every team has injuries. Everybody gets a little beat up. Like I'm just talking about Curtis Samuel, but they don't have a lot of big key injuries. I mean, I know they lost their quarterback week 1, but their quarterback was Ryan Fitzpatrick. So is Taylor Heineke truly like some kind of major downgrade from Ryan Fitzpatrick? I think most people would say no. So it's like I don't know. This team is I think the biggest problem with this team is their defense is just not playing at the level that it was expected to play at. I think that's actually the biggest problem with this football team right now, because their offense is, to be quite frank, overall has been keeping them in football games pretty much most of the season. their offense has been the unit that's been showing up the most for this team. That defense is what was supposed to be the bell cow for this team. So I don't. It's about all I got on this one too. I'm going to get ready to move on to Sunday Night Football. Washington football team turned down Cam for him, so they must think he better than him at least. Yeah, I guess. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think I agree with that, but it's still a little bit mind blowing that no one's really giving Cam Newton a shot. Still, here we are, week 8, and teams have quarterback issues. I mean, the Houston Texans are an absolute mess. Maybe they have even reached out to Cam Newton, and he just didn't want to be a part of that whole situation. I wouldn't know, but it is kind of weird to me that a player the talent of Cam Newton is still sitting on the unemployment line. That's kind of bizarre. Like I said, especially when there are teams like look at the New York Jets these last week. I mean, make a trade for Joe Flacco instead of like maybe bringing in Cam Newton. That just seems odd, peculiar to me. Like I just don't get it. That whole Cam Newton thing right now. I don't know. Maybe people think he's washed. People think he's done. The injuries have caught up to him. I think he still played pretty decent last year, considering the Patriots had nothing around him last year, really. And I think he overall still had played pretty decent, all things considered. And I feel like he can still offer something to a team in this league, man. I don't know why he's not getting the opportunities. I mean, you would think it maybe even New Orleans, man, give him a call, try to get him down there, salvage their season. I mean, I just don't. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on with them. What's going on, Net, man? Good to see you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Exactly, Pat. Just not the way they want him. Not just a pocket passer. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, Patriots. Okay. I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. Exactly. The Patriots is just not the way they want him to be. He's not just a pocket passer. I got you. Yeah, I mean, I can see that he's not like a typical Patriots guy. But at the same time, and I mean, it's kind of working out because kid, for what it's worth, over in New England, Mac Jones, he's doing some good things over there. So I can't be like totally like against the decision that they went with Mac Jones and released Cam Newton. I'm just baffled that no one else has reached out to bring Cam Newton on. Like I said, Houston's clearly had some quarterback issues. I said now New Orleans does. I mean, there's a couple other teams out there, man, with issues, man. Even I don't know if Cam is not like refusing to sign a contract to come in and be a backup. If he's looking for just only an opportunity, only like a chance to come in and just straight up be the starter. I don't know all the behind the scenes stuff with those negotiations, things like that. But I just find it peculiar that he's not getting any opportunities. Here we are, week 9, and Cam Newton is still unemployed. I just thought for sure once the Patriots released him that somebody would have figured out a way to bring Cam Newton in. Yes, I agree. Cam didn't fit there, and people need to understand that. To me, he's not washed. Yeah, that's why I agree. I don't think he's washed at all. I think he's still Cam Newton, man. He still brings something to the table. Like I said, he still played pretty decent last year. Obviously not his best year by no means, but he still played pretty decent. He played good enough that he should have a job right now. I'm just like I said, it's one of the more mind-blowing storylines of this season. We're gonna move on to this next game. And that was Sunday Night Football, where the Dallas Cowboys went and traveled to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not even gonna lie. I had to go back and look at the second half of this game because Sunday night I had passed out on this game about halftime, man. And I was actually shocked to wake up and find out that the Cowboys did indeed come back and win this game 20-16 with Cooper Rush at the helm. No Dak whatsoever in this game, but Cooper Rush went out there 24 for 40. at 2 touchdowns and an interception in this one, man. And he's pretty sharp from what I saw overall. But at the same time, it's not that hard to be that sharp when you got Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb out there catching passes from you. You know what I mean? Zeke Elliott added 50 yards on the ground in this one. And like I was saying, Cooper and Lamb, man, them cats combined for 14 catches for 234 yards. And it was just, I mean, those two cats, both receivers had over 100 yards. So just like that, Cooper Rush also had no problem finding the top two guys in that offense as far as from the receiver standpoint. He said his dad was happy. I mean, his dad should have been happy. Young man, I'm assuming you're talking about Cooper Rush. The young man got to win on Sunday Night Football in prime time. Hey, I mean, it should make any dad proud, you know. So I mean, I'd have been proud too. I'd have been a proud papa too, you know. Got to watch my son win a prime time game at the NFL level. I mean, who knows how many more opportunities he's going to get. Looking like this kid's going to be a perennial backup. I don't really see a future in him being a starting quarterback in the NFL. But you never know what can happen. I mean, but I don't know the extent of Dak's injury either, so don't know if that's going to hold him out of any more games. Guess we'll have to find out. I haven't been following that too closely. But yeah, once again, also the Trayvon Diggs streak has finally come to an end. Young man did not get an interception in this week. As a matter of fact, the Cowboys defense didn't get an interception this week, but what they did do was put out a still overall very solid defensive performance, pretty good solid effort this week without getting the turnovers because they didn't. I don't believe the Cowboys got any turnovers in this game. So that's the first time that's happened all season. I believe the Cowboys have definitely created turnovers in every single game. Well, they obviously had because Trayvon Diggs before this game had an interception in every single game this season. So once again, their defense played stout, played solid, and they got the job done on Sunday Night Football out in Minnesota. In a game in which last week on this podcast, I did pick the Cowboys to win because I didn't know about Dak's status then at the current time. However, my attitude definitely changed when I found out Dak wasn't playing, and I thought Minnesota was going to actually knock the Cowboys off, which would have been helpful for our whole entire division. But they weren't able to get the job done. Cowboys win it in the end on a game-winning touchdown. I believe Amari Cooper caught the game winner. And like I said, just a great effort from those two young men, man. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb out there balling, man. Cowboys got two legitimate number one wide receivers. And Michael Gallup, I believe, is close to coming back. So that's just going to add even more to that offense. Once again, it's already a scary offense that's getting close to being even scarier. Like I said, with Gallup coming back soon, like I said, they get Dak back in that lineup. Zeke continues to keep running hard like he's been doing, man. This Cowboy offense is a force to be reckoned with, man. And like I said, they're obviously the favorite to win this NFC East division. I don't think anything's going to really stand in the way of them doing that. But you got to really start considering this Dallas Cowboys team as a legit contender in the NFC conference, period. It's uphill battle. Still got, teams like the Rams going to be standing in their way. Buccaneers, they're not going. Teams like that ain't going nowhere. Green Bay. But at the same time, this Cowboy team is a force to be reckoned with, and I feel like they can beat anybody in this league on any given week, man. They're just that good offensively. The talent is just too much. It's too abundant, and they know how to use their weapons, point blank and period. They go out there. It doesn't matter. We all know CeeDee Lamb is getting the ball. We all know Amari Cooper's getting the ball. Still can't stop it though. So you know what I mean. They know how to. They figure out ways to get it done. They know how to get it done. We need to take notes from that and learn those same types of things, man. Because right now we just don't have it, man. We just got to be able to figure it out. We got to figure out a way to get the ball in our best players' hands, because that's one of the things that's holding us back right now. And speaking of that, I guess we are ready to move on to Monday Night Football. And we all know what Monday Night Football was. That was the New York Football Giants traveling out to Arrowhead Stadium to meet the Kansas City Chiefs. And pretty much no one on this planet gave the New York Giants a chance. Or not a real chance anyway. And to be quite frank, I picked us to lose this game a week ago, obviously on this podcast too, because they're the Chiefs. They're a better football team than us on most weeks. This particular week, they still proved to be a smidge better. They did only win I picked us to only lose by 3 points, and that's all they lost by. What's going on, Hit Squad? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through, bro. But yeah, they proved to be a little bit better, but at the same time, this New York Giants team went out there and competed with them, man. I did pick a 3-point loss. We go 27-24. Neither team scored as many points as I thought. It was 20-17. Still a 3-point win for the Chiefs. Game-winning field goal. Absolute heartbreaker, man. But like I said, there's no such thing as a moral victory, man. No, I don't. And some people have been trying to talk that moral victory stuff all week. That's no such thing. I believe in real W's and real L's. We took a real L on Monday night. Straight up. The Chiefs won the game. Referees, a couple controversial calls here and there. None of that mattered. That's not necessarily the reason we lost this football game either. I mean, that O'Shane Zimenez offsides late in this game is going to haunt me forever, because it's just the fact that in those situations, man, you just got to be disciplined, man. You got to. Like, I know you want an extra edge. You want to try to time that snap count. That situation ain't the time to do that, man. It was a crucial play, man. Crucial time of the game. You can't jump off sides of the situation. You just got to worry about getting off the field. Just feel confident that the back end is going to handle their business in these situations, man. You trying to get that extra edge. I mean, you were getting good push the whole game anyway. So who's to say you still wasn't if you just watch the ball and move with the football instead of trying to time this snap count so perfectly, you know what I mean? Because it was very, very close, you know what I mean? Like, you was just barely offsides, but you were offside nonetheless. The fact that the referees didn't throw the flag until the interception was already made is something else to talk about, you know what I mean? Because that was considering it was an offsides penalty, that flag came in pretty late for an offsides penalty. Neither here nor there. And we all know the next play after that was the Tay Crowder face mask that obviously was not a face mask. But that wouldn't even have happened if O'Shane Zimenez didn't jump all sides in the first place. That would never happen because the interception would have counted, and we would have been able to have the opportunity to run the clock out and probably win this football game. Speaking of this football game, though, Daniel Jones did go out there, go 22 for 32 with 2 touchdowns, and that one horrible interception early in the game that resulted in points for the Chiefs. Booker ran pretty hard in this game, 60 yards on the ground. But once again, man, this New York Giant team, man, we just cannot stay healthy, man. Every game, man. Wide receiver position is absolutely decimated on this football team. I mean, once again, Sterling Shepard got hurt. Tony got banged up again in this game. Dante Pettis went down in this game. At this point, I don't even know who's playing wide receiver for the New York Giants anymore. I'm going to assume Kadarius Toney, he was able to come back and finish the game. So he was limited in practice today. So I don't know. Like, I'm assuming he's going to be okay. He'll be okay for Sunday. But a lot of things going on with this New York Giant team right now. We'll be getting to that in a little bit. But yeah, these wide receivers are going down. The whole damn team. I don't understand. Like, every week we just get another key player injured. I mean, Shep comes back and gets hurt again. I mean, it's just. This guy, I love him, but he can't stay healthy for anything, man. Everything on this guy. He just gets hurt any possible way you can get hurt, man. And it's just like it's starting to become a very it's just a regular thing, recurring theme every season with Sterling Shepard. Like I was saying on my aftermath show the other day, he's one of my favorite players, man. But availability is your best ability, man. He is very rarely available, man. That's unfortunate for him because, like I said, absolutely love the guy. He's definitely one of the guys that probably holds his team together, man, off the field, on and off the field. But you got to be available to the team, man. He said DJ did okay, but looking, he's still not a franchise quarterback to me. He need to finish and close games like he choked at the end of the game, like he choked at the end of games. I can see where you come up with that point. I mean, at some point, you can say all the things, other variables with this team, like the offensive line, talk about how the O line is absolutely garbage, which it is, and probably a lot of quarterbacks will struggle behind this O line. But from some standpoints, DJ has to get his awareness up to a point where he can just sometimes make plays in spite of that. You know what I mean? Because that's what the great ones do. Some of the great ones aren't always behind perfect offensive lines. Everybody's not blessed with that throughout their career. All the greats aren't blessed with that throughout their career. That's not what makes them all great. Some guys do figure out ways to make it happen in spite of. You know what I mean? That's where the difference between Daniel Jones and great quarterbacks are to me. Like Daniel Jones to me is a good quarterback that needs the pieces around him to all be right for him to be effective. Whereas you take like a Aaron Rodgers or a Patrick Mahomes or like Lamar Jackson, for instance, quarterbacks like that, they're still great in spite of whatever else is going on around them. Like, what's going on, Reed? Good to see you, man. So I just believe that Daniel Jones, I think he can be a franchise guy. I just don't think he'll ever be necessarily part of like an elite conversation or like a great conversation, like an all-time great conversation. He'll never be that guy, but I think he can be a franchise guy for this team. I honestly feel like we just got to put the offensive line in front of him that can block some damn body. Because this O-line, I mean, I think he's at a point now where even when they do block up plays pretty well, I think his head is still too much on the swivel, man. Like his head is he's too much. He's still too concerned about pressure coming that might not. That's because that's what he's grown used to. You know what I mean? That's what he's been thrusted into his whole career so far with this football team. That even I've noticed even on plays when they're blocked up pretty well, he still looks a little shaky in the pocket. So that's got to change for him to really take that next step. I don't think they allow players to be 100% healthy. And why, when they come back, they get hurt and everyone assumes they injury prone. I agree. I agree with that too. The injury prone narrative to me sometimes is a bit I think a bit overused. It's because I mean it's football, it's a tough game, people get hurt. But at the same time, I think you gotta look into some of the kind of injuries people get when you put that like a broken bone, for instance. Those are things that are going to happen, that can happen. And I wouldn't call a guy injury prone because he gets tackled, and the way he got tackled, he broke his leg or something. You know what I mean? But when you continuously get the same kind of soft tissue injuries, those hamstrings and things like that, to me, I think that's how you get that label, because you can get that label put on you because you're getting injured, and it's always the same thing over. Like John Ross had an issue with that early in his career with the hamstrings. It was always the same thing constantly over and over and over again. So I feel like certain like right now, Saquon Barkley, people are still calling him injury prone. Well, this last injury, this sprained ankle, that was a freak accident. That could have happened to absolutely anybody. That could have happened to me or you or anybody else. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't label him injury prone based off of that particular injury. But he did still miss all of last year, and he missed a few games the year before. So people were just ready to see him on the field. And that's what I was saying, man. You do, Hit Squad. got to build around DJ, man. And I feel like he can. He has shown the ability to succeed when everything is when all the parts are right, man. Like that New Orleans game when he basically had his full complement of weapons, young man showed off, man. He absolutely showed off. And he's still been playing pretty well with everybody injured, man, going down. He's still been playing well. He said two backups, won games, and it should be no excuse. Tired of what we need to kick Eli to the curb for him. So that saying to me, he better than Eli. Prove it. I want a ring and I want a playoff. I heard that Sunday. We all want that. We all patiently waiting for that in New York. It's been a long time. It's been a long time now. I know 10 years has been it's been long. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for another one. I'm ready for this franchise to even at least give me a good playoff run or something. Give me some hope. You know what I mean? But still waiting right now. Like I said, until we get things all the way, till we can get things right. I'm not sure. Like I said, and I feel like I'm an old school guy that believes that depth absolutely starts up front. Till we get that O-line right, I honestly don't believe. I believe we're going to continue to struggle. That's just the way I feel about that right now. I just can't. Right now, that's our biggest hindrance on this football team. The defense finally looks like it's coming back to life. Put together two back-to-back amazing football games. This defense. Before I get out of here, before I start talking about this game, I got to talk about this defense real quick because I almost actually slipped my mind how phenomenal this defense played. I believe this defense even played better than it did a week ago against Carolina, man. Like, just in spite because of the opponent we were playing against on their home field, like in front of their crowd, man, and we held the Kansas City Chiefs to 20 points. This team used to just blink their eyes and score 20 points. So, you know what I mean? I couldn't say more about the defensive effort. I mean, other than those at the late in the game with the O'Shane Ximenez debacle, you know what I mean? Other than that, this defense played absolutely spectacular football, man. They kept Patrick Mahomes under pressure all night long, man. Had the heat on them, and it was just forced errors, forced bad throws, rush throws. I mean, I was very impressed with this defense, and hope they keep that up for the rest of the season because we're going to need this kind of effort if we have any chance to salvage this season in any way. Which I'm definitely on board with that because I'm not one of them throw the season for a draft pick. I'm never going to be one of them kind of guys. You play the game to win. Like Herm Edwards said, you play to win the game. You don't go out there and tank and lose on purpose because you want to try to get a higher draft pick. Because I'm going to tell you one thing about that. A draft pick ain't guaranteed. That ain't guaranteed. That's what you think that somebody's going to come in and be a superstar. They can come in and be an absolute bust. It happens. It happens all the time. It happens every year. So I'm definitely never going to be on board with that. And if this defense is going to have to continue to play like it did the last couple of weeks, if we got any chance of salvaging this season, which we do still have a chance, because like I reiterate, like I've been saying, we are in the NFC East. Anything can happen in this division, and we still have enough winnable games where we can maybe salvage this season and make something happen. We just got to figure out a way to start winning these football games. So I'm going to move on to the next game, man, and to next week's action, man. Now, last week, all the NFC teams were on the road. This week, the three NFC teams that have games are all at home. So we're going to start with the Broncos and at the Cowboys, man. And once again, I'm not 100% sure what the status of Dak is, if he's going to be out for this one as well. Haven't heard anything like that, so I'm going to assume he is going to be get the green light this week. With Dak back in the lineup, I mean, Denver got the W against Washington. This Cowboys team is a completely different animal, especially if they're fully healthy. I got Dak at quarterback. Like I said, Amari, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke, Tony Pollard just doing the damn thing. This offense is just ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. And I just don't see a way that the Denver Broncos are going to go in there and get the job done, man. I'm just not seeing it. Denver hasn't been playing super great. And honestly, they could have lost on Sunday to the Washington football team. They didn't basically just give the game away. But so I'm thinking the Cowboys definitely gonna pull this one off and move up to like what 8-2 that would make them, or 7-2 that would make them, or something like that, or 7-1, excuse me, 7-1 that would put them at, I believe. But I just don't see the Broncos winning this football game, man. I think the Cowboys gonna go out there and win this one about, say, because the Broncos defense is legit. I believe their defense is pretty thorough. I'd say, but I just realized they just lost Von Miller. I forgot. They just gave Von Miller away. Totally forgot about that. So I'm going to say that the Cowboys still go out there and win this football game. I'll say 27-14. That's just how I feel right now about the Denver Broncos. That they haven't been playing very good football the last few weeks, even though they did get the W. That was a game they also on Sunday. They could have very easily lost that football game on Sunday. So I don't think that counts as them playing all of a sudden better because they rebound. They finally got a win against Washington. Yeah, 27-14. I feel like they just gave away their super stud pass rusher of Von Miller. Practically gave him away. Technically, it's a second and third round pick, but let's face it, where the Rams are going to be drafting at, they basically gave Von Miller away for a third and fourth round pick, basically. Because where the Rams are going to be drafting at in those rounds, it's going to be so late in the rounds that they might as well be the next round. So, yeah, that's absolutely a joke to me. And, the Rams already great defense just got even better because now they have an edge rusher that you got to absolutely worry about, and they got Aaron Donald still in the middle of that defense, just killing shit. So, but the Cowboys will win this football game, I believe, 27-14. And I really don't got much else to say about that about this game right now, man, because I'm not really 100% sure if Dak's going to be playing. Obviously, Cooper Rush came in and proved he's capable. So if they do got to go with him again, I might feel differently about the score, but not the outcome. Yeah, I would feel different if Dak was to sit out this one again. I still feel the same about the outcome, that the Cowboys are going to win. I just wouldn't think the score, probably just not by as many points. Probably wouldn't put up at quite as many points. But get on to this next one, and that is the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Philly to play them Eagles, man. Well, one thing I'm going to say for certain, two things I'll say for one thing for certain, two things for sure. Philadelphia Eagles, this is not the Detroit Lions y'all playing this week. I mean, I want the Broncos to win too Sunday. I want them to win, but I just don't really see it happening. You know what I mean? I would like that to happen. Like I said, this whole division would like that to happen, but I just don't see it happening, if I can be totally honest and candid about the situation. I hate having to picking the Cowboys to win, but I got to keep it real. That's the name of the title of the podcast, The Real Deal NFC's Roundup. You know what I mean? Gotta keep it 100. The Cowboys they're just a better football team than Denver Broncos, and I just can't see them losing that game. But this Eagles game, man. This is interesting though. The Eagles, because the Chargers are up and down team too. They're a little wishy-washy too. They're coming off a pretty bad loss, man. Pretty tough loss at home. Excuse me. To the Patriots a week ago, man. The Patriots pretty much kind of went out there and rolled them, dominated, man. And they could be looking for some get back, but they do got to fly all the way across the country for a 1:00 game against the Eagles, man. I'm not, or it might be a 4:00 game, but still, either way, it doesn't matter what time it is. They got to fly all the way across the country and play the Eagles, and I just can't. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. This is one I've been thinking about this one a lot all day, actually figuring out which way I was going to go on this one. But I think I am going to lean with the Chargers on this one. I think they're going to still come across here. They're going to get it done because the Eagles, like I said, as scrappy and Brazilian as they've been all season, They haven't beaten a good team. Their 3 wins have come across against the Atlanta Falcons, the Carolina Panthers, and the Detroit Lions on Sunday. So they haven't beaten a good team yet. So and they haven't. I mean, they've been competitive in most games, but they haven't beaten the squad at the level of the Los Angeles Chargers. And I see the score prediction up there Sunday, 30-17 Chargers. I mean, that's a possibility. I think I'm gonna go with the Chargers in this one. I'll probably go a little lower with the score though. I'm gonna go more like about, say, more around that 24-14, 24-14 type of game. They almost owned against the Cowboys, but to me, the refs was in the Cowboys' back pocket. Oh, you mean they almost won against the Cowboys? Yeah, they did. That was one of those weird. That was one of those weird games, man. The Chargers definitely could have won that football game, but at the end of the day, they still didn't. Cowboys did. Cowboys are 6-1 right now, sitting at 6-1 right now, and in the driver's seat in this division. And but the Chargers and the Chargers-Eagles game could be an interesting one because I want to also once again see Jalen Hurts, man, because Jalen Hurts in this game is going to have to be able to pass that ball to keep up with this Charger team, because this Charger team is not going to come in there and not be able to score points against this Eagle defense, which did look great against the Lions last week, but it hasn't looked great all season against anybody else really. And except for maybe that Atlanta Falcon game week 1, they looked pretty good again that game as well. But this this Charger team is definitely step up and clash from the Detroit Lions, and the Eagles are going to have to be able to put up more points, and they're going to have to. Jalen Hurts is going to have to be able to pass that ball. He's going to be able to get the ball downfield with accuracy, something he has struggled with all season. I mean, sure, he's going to still use his legs. That's part of what he does. It's what makes him right now, keeps him serviceable as a starting quarterback, is because his ability with his legs, because he has not demonstrated the arm talent still for me to really be ready to call this guy a franchise quarterback. But he's proven to be a good football player, man. He is a good football player that does make plays, man. He's a playmaker. He has a good playmaking ability, but I just still see them coming up short in this one. They're 24-14. I think Chargers coming off an ugly loss. Eagles coming off a big win. Seems like a recipe for the Eagles to have a bit of an explosion. And the Chargers really, honestly, need this game anyway, because in their division, unlike ours, you know what I mean? They got to be able to keep up with the Raiders, and the Chiefs might right now be struggling in that division, but at the same time, they're still the Kansas City Chiefs, so they're not going to go away either. So the Chargers definitely need this game, man, and I think they're going to get it this week against the Eagles, man. And now y'all know what time it is, man. It is time for the main event of the week. Before I start talking about this game, obviously, circumstances in this game, a lot of news has come out today. Obviously, the Raiders are now without their star wide receiver, Henry Ruggs, who has been released from the team because, I'm sure we all know, this young man made a very reckless choice early yesterday morning. And unfortunately, someone lost their life. I'm just going to say right now, man, I want to talk to y'all young men, man, right now. NFL players, all professional athletes, celebrities, everybody, man. All y'all young people with big bank accounts, man. You still got to be responsible, man. You still got to make good choices, man, with your life. You can't go out. If you're going to go out, you want to go out and have a good time, there's nothing wrong with that. I go out and have a good time all the time, man. You know what I mean? But at the same time, If you're gonna do stuff like that with your life, you're gonna go out and party and get drunk and get crazy. You're an NFL player. You have $1 million in your bank account. Over $1 million in your bank account. You have, come on, man. Use your brain, man. Use your brain. Why would you get behind the wheel of a car, intoxicated the way you were, apparently over double the legal amount? Double the legal amount, man. That means you probably staggered into your car in the first damn place. And then apparently what, you were showing off for some girl? But you had like, I don't even, honestly, the mystery to me about this is how Henry Ruggs even came out of this without any life-threatening injuries. Or I guess his passenger. Like, I don't understand how y'all made it out like that, because I saw pictures of these vehicles, man. This is a very, very bad accident. Like I said, and it cost the other person their life, unfortunately. Look, I'm gonna talk to you like this. I'm gonna come candid right now, man. About 10 years ago, I myself had a DUI. Unfortunately, no one got hurt. I wasn't in an accident, you know what I mean? I didn't even get in an accident. I was pulled over just for driving erratically before anything bad actually happened. You know what I mean? You just gotta make better decisions, man. I'm a regular, like for instance, I'm a regular guy. I go out and hang out with my friends, bars, get the drinking and everything. Look, some nights if I have too many, even I got the good enough sense to either get a ride from somebody, one of my friends, get a ride home from one of my friends, or get an Uber or a Lyft or something, man. But even with like somebody like you, like Ruggs, you got the ability to just get a personal driver to be your driver for the night, period. Somebody will take you where you want to go, sit there and wait for you, take you the hell back home. You can get as drunk as you want. Why would you do that? I mean, I don't want to be just singling you out, but right now you are the main topic of interest right now with this. I mean, when it comes to this topic, I just need these guys to make better choices, man. Make better choices, man, and be responsible, man. I get it's not easy being a millionaire and being like a 22-year-old millionaire living in Las Vegas. All kinds of temptations out there, man. But we need better decisions, man. Better decisions need to be made. Yeah, Sunday. Stuff I was reading has been bad, man. Been really, really bad. Yeah, I appreciate that, Hit Squad, man. Definitely, man. I mean, I learned from it, man. It's like it's a learning experience. You learn, you live and you learn. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but at the same time, I mean, this dude was literally blew like a point, like a 0.16 or whatever. That's insane. Or a 0.016 or whatever it is, whatever 2 times the legal limit is. And that's just absolutely crazy to me. He had to be literally so drunk that somebody should have already pulled the keys out of his hand when he was trying to get into his car. Because if you're that damn drunk, there's no way you were walking straight. I'm sorry. I know what drunk is. You weren't walking straight if you were that drunk. Yeah, Philly B, man. You're right. Wasn't no Uber and Lyft 10 years ago when I got my DUI. But at the same time, I could have made a better choice. You know what I mean? I could have called. I could have made a phone call. But at the same time, I chose to get in my car, and like I said, by the grace of God, I still was okay. You know what I mean? Like nothing bad happened, nothing too crazy happened. But we learn from those kind of mistakes, and I just hope going forward, man, a lot of these young guys out here, these professional athletes and these celebrities, whatever, like I said, young people with big bank accounts. I hope they can just keep learning from these mistakes, man. Because like I said, this mistake cost somebody their life, and you never want to see that happen. And as far as the New York Giants concerned, news about them from the New York Giants front, there was a potential scare for a COVID outbreak. As of right now, I still haven't heard any more news other than the running backs coach is the only confirmed case. However, Saquon Barkley is one of the players right now that had to go through the retesting process, and so right now he was held out of practice today, obviously for the ankle, but also because of the COVID thing. So let's hope all that works out for these. Not sure, haven't really released names of the other players that at least not that I've seen anyway, who were potentially, who had to get retested. But as of right now, from what I know is the running backs coach is the only one who had a confirmed case of COVID. So he's been doing all his dealings with the teams virtually today and going forward, obviously, until that's resolved. So let's hope we don't have an outbreak and have some kind of issue where half our team can't play on Sunday because of COVID. Let's hope that doesn't happen too, because what else can go wrong? I mean, what else? This team don't need any more disasters. I mean, made a few mistakes. My own could and should have made a better choice, but I didn't. And thankfully nothing happened. Yeah, I mean, we all do. We're all only human, you know what I mean? But like in cases like us, I mean, we're regular people, you know what I mean? So we're gonna tend to make those mistakes a little bit more because sometimes we don't necessarily have the means necessarily all the time. These guys have the means to make the right choices, and they still choose to make the wrong ones. And that's what makes it a little more problematic with those guys, because they have bank accounts, like I said, where they don't even need Uber and Lyft. They can just get a personal driver for the night, take them everywhere they want to go. Like I said, be sitting there waiting for them and get them back home, walk them to the door if they got to. You know what I mean? They can afford those kind of services. So that's what bothers me about those things. Yeah. Said question Sunday said, why was Evan Ingram not able to practice if he didn't get traded? Do you think they gave him a choice or wanted to hear his thoughts? I honestly think he could possibly also be one of the players involved with the retesting process with the because it was quite a few players that had to be retested for COVID, because apparently there were cases people had initially failed the COVID test or something. They said a bunch of people had failed it, but then during the retest, the only confirmed case was the running backs coach. So Evan Ingram might have been, and then anybody else that I guess that was involved with that is still continuing to be retested. So Evan Ingram might actually be a part of that, because he has not been traded. I mean, we would have got news about that if he got traded. So unfortunately, he's still gonna be he's gonna be a New York Giant still Sunday. I know how most of us feel about that. But right about now, to be quite honest, we need everybody. Everything we got with the receiver situation we have right now. The injuries to the receiver position is just bad. Because like I said, we're gonna have Kadarius Toney on Sunday. It looks like, and I guess we'll have Kadarius Toney and Slayton. After that, I don't know what else to say. Colin Johnson. That's gonna be about it. I don't know. We're gonna have to probably bring somebody up from the practice squad. Probably have to bring Sills back in. Because at this point, John Ross is okay. Is good to go. But yeah, I don't know. But in this game here, man, the Raiders, man, they're obviously dealing with something big, man. This Henry Ruggs situation. They will be traveling across the country, coming to see us, and coming to see us, and oh, you just saw that too. I didn't see that. So Xavier McKinney's also in the protocol also. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I'm not sure. This could really dramatically change things going into this game on Sunday. After listening to Eli Matt on Monday Night Football, to me, he's saying that Evan Ingram and Shep not being used like they should, but what they do, they make plays like touchdowns for Evan Ingram. I didn't even see that. Hear him say that, but I agree. I mean, That's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying other teams knowing how to use their weapons to properly. I feel like this team, this coaching staff, does not do that well. Like that's what we do. Like we don't do that well at all. Like we said, Tyreek Hill. Sure, we held him under 100 yards, but he still had 12 catches on Monday night. 12 catches. We know that's where they're going with the football. We did a great defensively. We did a great job against Travis Kelce, but at the same time, like I said, Tyreek Hill also, you know they're going to trying to get the ball to him, and we still didn't really stop that from happening. Sure, we kept it under control where he didn't kill us with the big plays, but because he had under 100 yards with those 12 catches, which was really impressive from his defense. But just like I was saying, Cooper, like with Cooper, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and it's not even just that. Star players on all the other teams, man, around the league. They find ways to get their star players involved, and we got to do a better job of that. Like Evan Ingram didn't even have a catch until that touchdown catch in the fourth quarter on Monday night. Where was he at the first three quarters? I mean, after Shep went down, you would have thought it would have been a Kadarius Toney, Evan Ingram show, but it just wasn't. I mean, Daniel Jones did a good job, spreading the ball around overall, but I want to start seeing our stars shine, man. Shine as bright as other team stars do on their teams. And I know the offensive line, once again, the O-line has a lot to do with that because you can't protect, you can't look downfield and make things happen. That's what bothers me about this O-line is because we have a quarterback whose absolute probably best trait is his deep ball, and he barely has time to throw it, ever. Because as soon as he gets the damn ball hiked to him, somebody's pretty much already practically dragging him down. If you look, even for Shep, he had one of the highest red zone catches, and they don't use him enough there. I agree. Shep has made some clutch catches in the red zone over the years. But right now, Shep ain't going to be back until at least maybe Tampa Bay. And that's a maybe. That's not even a guarantee. So we'll have to see. We'll see what happens there. But on that note, man, I'm going to go ahead and it's hard to predict this one because there's so many moving parts, things that can change with the Giants. Obviously the Raiders situation is a tough one also with the Ruggs thing, but call me crazy. Call me crazy. Right now, I'm gonna pretend that everything's going to be copacetic on Sunday. We're going to go in there as healthy as we can be, and we're going to act like this COVID stuff isn't going on. I'm gonna make this prediction as if everything's okay, and I'm going to say that the Giants actually win this football game on Sunday. We pull off the upset and beat the Las Vegas Raiders. I feel like we're going to pull off that upset and beat them 20-13. I'm going to say that 20-13 New York Giants. I knew we were going to find a way to pull off the upset this week, man. I just got this feeling, man. Knock on wood, baby, that we're going to figure out a way to pull this upset off this week, man. And I just once again just say some prayers to the family of that young lady who unfortunately was killed in that horrific accident involving Henry Ruggs. You know what I mean? Condolences out to her family. I hate to see anybody go out that way, man. Ruggs, it's unfortunate you threw your whole career and life away now, man, because it's looking like there's no way you're going to be able to escape jail time on this one, kid. And honestly, you shouldn't be able to escape jail time. You cost someone their life. So I honestly hope that the system, does right by you and you get tried the same way I would. What's good, Pat, man? Good to see you, man. Man, you say you had the energy to go live tonight? It's all good, bro, man. You always gotta get that rest up, man. You work hard, bro. You be putting in work for New York Giant Nation, man. So it's all good, man. I was about to wrap this one up too, man, myself, man. But his squad, Pat, man. I'm gonna start trying to get some co-hosts for me on this show, man. If you guys are ever interested, let me know, man, for sure. I'd love to have y'all on sometime one of these upcoming weeks, man. Start getting some co-hosts, start breaking down these games with me a little bit. Have a little bit, couple other different ideas, a couple of different opinions bounce off each other. So I'd appreciate it. Y'all just let me know, man. Anytime, man. Hit Squad, Big Pat, anytime, man. But I'm about to get up out of here, man. And don't forget to tune in on Sunday to the True Blue preview for the game on Sunday, man. Sharp boy Mac the Giants fan. Peace. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants fan. That's MACDA Giants fan.